Hello everyone, I hope anyone who's watching this video is doing well. And the purpose of making this video is to tell or to help someone on how to apply a super visa application. So this will be a step by step on the whole application process. And to start the application or to give any kind of advice or help, I would like to clarify this that I'm not any kind of registered or official lawyer or IRCC person. I'm just a normal guy like you, and I have been applying my own applications from day one. I have done my work permit, my study permits, my PR applications, my citizen application, the super visa stuff, and any other kind of those BLS applications as well. So recently I applied my mother's super visa application and it got approved in about 3 weeks. So I uploaded a video on TikTok and a lot of my friends they asked me how to do it. So I thought I'll just make a video on YouTube and maybe it'll be helpful to someone. However, a lot of videos are already there. So I just thought, okay, I'll make another video, there's no harm in that. So yeah, that's the purpose of the application. But again, I'm not any kind of registered person. So if you want any official help, or if you don't believe someone random on the internet, maybe you can look for an official IRCC guy. But believe me or not, these applications are really simple, and Supervisa is one of the simplest application so far, and you don't really need to spend 300 $400 to the agents to do your application. So you can just DIY, do it yourself. Very easy. A lot of stuff is available on YouTube, Google, and nowadays we have ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Grok kind of stuff, and then we can get all the information from there. All right. So before proceeding, of course, I should give you the proof that my application was approved. I don't want anyone to not to believe me. So here I can show you that this is my IRCC account, and then I can show you the stuff here. See, this is the Visitor Visa application, and so Super Visa is also kind of Visitor Visa. That's why it doesn't say Super Visa, and the application number starts with V as well. But it is a Super Visa, believe me. And this is the name of my mother. See, date of submission was January 7th, and if I open the application status, and if I go down, you can see on January 30th they say your application was approved. So I applied on January 7th and it got approved on January 30th. So including weekends, it was only 23 days. So about 3 weeks, which was very fast, I would say. Uh, we only have one upper hand, honestly, because my mother already had the visitor visa. So her biometrics were done already. So we didn't have to, wait for the biometrics. But even if your biometrics are not done, sorry, you can still I don't think this application takes more than 2 months or 4 to 6 weeks, something about that. But very simple application. Everyone who is eligible should apply for it. And okay, let's see what is a super visa. Just to give you guys a context and an overview, we'll just talk about what is a super visa application. So this is not a kind of internet definition. It's just my own stuff that super visa is a kind of visitor visa. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know about it already, but just to clarify, super visa is a kind of visitor visa. There are some little elements which are different, such as in visitor visa, anybody who is in Canada can give sponsor to someone who's residing outside. But for super visa, you need to be a permanent resident or a citizen only, right? You cannot apply for your parents or grandparents if you are on a work permit or you are on a study visa or any kind of temporarily status, right? And this is also only for the parents and grandparents, not like the not like the visitor visa, which you can give your sponsorship to anyone, to a friend or to any cousin, brother, stuff like that. So this is only for parents, mother and father, and your grandparents, grandmother, grandfather. If they are alive, you can apply for them. So in my case, because my mother is the one who's only alive, I don't have my father is not alive anymore. So I only applied for my mother. But I'm pretty sure, like even if you apply, I have some friends who have applied together for both of their parents and didn't take more than a month or 6 weeks. So very simple application. The other difference between visitor visa and a super visa is that I think there are some financial elements which differ, because in visitor visa there's nothing stated that how much should be the number. They like the expectation is to provide as much as possible, and but in super visa the numbers are kind of more clear, that this minimum should be this, and if you are eligible about that, then you can go for it. And other difference is the insurance stuff. So you need to get your health insurance done before you submit your applications, because that is one of the part, like they ask for it when you submit. I'll show you later, which is not the thing in visitor visa, which is optional in visitor visa. And a lot of other stuff, I don't remember. It's not on the top of my mind right now. But again, coming back to our super visa application, so these are the major stuff we have. Okay, now we'll go ahead and open the IRCC's website on super visa. All right, so I'm in Google browser right now, as you guys can see, and I'll just type in super visa Canada, let's say. And the very first link, Canada.ca, we open their website. Let's see what they say about super visa. We'll just quickly go through it, and then we'll jump to the application. So as I said earlier, parents and grandparents can visit their children and grandchildren for 5 years at a time with super visa. So yeah, that's another difference actually. The visitor visa you can stay until 6 months, the max, right? But for the super visa you can actually stay for 5 years, and then I have heard that there are exemptions where you can actually extend that to seven, right? And so that's another upper hand for super visa, big difference. What is a super visa? So again, the same thing, whatever I told you. And let's see who can apply. So basically eligibility. So eligibility is you should be a child or grandchild, right? Not a cousin or a friend or anything. You need to be a Canadian citizen, permanent resident of Canada, or a registered Indian, right? And most in 99% of the cases, Canadian citizen and PR, right? Not on temporary visa or anything. You need to be 18 years old, which pretty much everyone is. And there is a minimum necessary income, which we'll take a look very soon. Actually, let me open this one right away. So see, that's a very interesting chart. And so as I said earlier, unlike visitor visa and super visa, the numbers are very clear. They're shown, they are available on the website. If you meet these numbers, you're good. And let's say, so I'll give you guys an example how this number counts. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know already. So if you are so if you have both parents alive, mother and father, right? And so those are two, and then you are the third one, so which counts as three people. So this number you have to target, the 44,966, right? In my case, because my father is not alive, so it was only me and my mother, so which was two. So I only had to meet this number. And this is not some kind of savings you need to have in your account. This should be your minimum income in your recent year, or in your last year. For example, this is 2025. So in your notice of assessment 2024, this should be your minimum income. It's not like you should have this much saving. That's a lot of money, but your income should be at least this much. And if you are applying for, let's say, there are cases when you apply for your, you know, grandparents, or a lot of us, we are married here, right? So if you're married, then you already have two people, you and your wife, or you or your husband, and then you're applying for your parents, so that will be 2 plus 2 4, right? So then you have to meet this, and further on, if you have a child as well, then it'll become 5 6 7, and accordingly you have to meet these numbers. As simple as that. uh, Other than that, there should be a invitation letter, which I'll show you later, from the person who's inviting you, the person who's in Canada. And minimum necessary income, we have talked about it already. You must also, so the applicant, your parent or grandparent, should be outside Canada. They cannot be here, and they be allowed to enter Canada. There shouldn't be any ban on you guys. You have to have a medical exam, and then you have to meet some kind of condition, which we can quickly take a look. And these are like very uh, rare stuff which happens to some people, that you don't have, you get misrepresentation kind of stuff, or you got your visa denied, these kind of stuff. So I'm not going to talk further about it. And health insurance is also a very important part, which is again not mandatory in visitor visa, but it is mandatory. It is recommended. It's in super visa. You need to have. And previously it used to be only Canadian company, but now they're accepting companies outside of Canada. But I'll still recommend everyone to go for Canadian companies, because there are a lot of formalities which with the companies which are outside of Canada, and there's more documentation about it. And then the health insurance should be at least $100,000. You can go up to a million or 2 million, depends on you, but it needs to be at least $100,000 minimum. And I think that's pretty much all the major conditions. And then how can you apply? So this is basically how can you apply, the documentation and everything that I will talk. We can take a look quickly, but we'll talk mostly when we'll apply for it. So the documents you'll need would be letter of invitation, right? Your invitation letter. I'll show you my letter, and you guys can take a look how to make the letter, how to calculate your family size. So this in this document you can so income requirement as a major document, and the most important one would be the notice of assessment of the last year, your T4s, your pay stubs, those kind of stuff. Like notice of assessment would be the best example of this. And then I will encourage you guys to put as many papers possible, as many proofs possible. If I'm not wrong, I put my notice of assessment, my T4s, and even I think my job letter as well, because I had them. But if you don't have anything, but then at least notice of assessment is mandatory. So these are all the documents. You don't need to put everything, but you have to do at least. So these are all the options. You have to do one of it, at least one of it. You can do more if you want. See, the first one is NOA, the other is T4, pay stub, blah blah blah. A lot of document, your bank statements. You would need your bank statements to also show that you have enough balance to support your family. This is also another very important aspect, that if you're planning to apply for super visa, then I'll recommend you to have at least, there's no fixed number, but you should have a healthy bank balance, so you can prove the IRCC that you can take care of all the expenses of your parent or grandparent or whoever you're inviting. In my case, I think I had about $20,000, because in super visa you're telling IRCC that the parent is coming for, or the parents are coming for at least more than 6 months, because you cannot say they're coming for 2 months only and I only have $5,000, because then they would say, then why don't you apply for a visitor visa if they're coming for less than 6 months. So we have to show them, even though if they don't have any plan to come for that long, but still, because we're applying for a super visa, so we have to prove them that they're coming for more than 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 1 year, or more than that. So according to that duration of time, we should show them a healthy bank balance, that so we can, and tell them that we can support. So again, there's no number mentioned on the website, but I showed $20,000. My a couple of friends, they showed around 15, 18, and I know someone who actually showed $12,000 and got approved as well. So I would say as much as you can, but at least try to do 10% or 10 grand or more than that. And the more is better, the more is always better. And it needs to be 4 months old in your bank account. It's not like you ask your friends to give you 15, 20,000 for a month, and it needs to be 4 months old. So if you're planning, then plan ahead, because again, the amount should be 4 months old. So keep that in the mind. Proof of the health insurance, you can get that same day, or it's very easy to get. Just pay the money and then they'll give you the proof right away. Any agent, or even you can apply online. It's very easy. Proof of completion of medical exam. This is also, I would recommend you to get this done before submitting the application. So there are two ways. So first way is, which I would recommend, which I did with my mother, which I tell to people who ask me, and which I think saves you a little bit of time, that you do your medical upfront and then attach it along with your application, and that's it. You don't need to do anything after submission. You'll just get their answer. After that, you just wait. But if you don't do it when you submit your application, then the IRCC will come back to you and ask for it, and then you ask your parents to do it a medical, and then they submit that document, and then IRCC will review it and come back to you again. So I would suggest to skip that IRCC coming back to you and asking for a medical, because medical is something uh, which they won't skip, right? It's not like maybe they'll skip it. No, they'll ask for it anyway. So why don't we save our time and do it upfront, and get our application process faster done. So get your medical exam, so your parents or grandparents medical exam done before submitting the application, and put that document in there when you submit that. So there is no particular field for medical exam, but there is a field which says optional documents, and you can uh, add in as many document as possible over there. So we can add our medical exam over there, which I did. And I'm very sure you all know how to find your approved panel physicians. There's a long list wherever you're living. Let's say from in India, you just do, and then according to your place, there's a lot of people. And then because I'm from Punjab, my mother went to Chandigarh, and I think this was Max Met Clinic where she went to. Okay, anyway, coming back. So yeah, that was pretty much all. Proof of relationship to your host, you can show your passport if you are PR, because it means you still have your Indian passport. If you are a Canadian citizen, then you can show your what you say OCI. I think I showed it to them, or any kind of official proof where it shows that that a parent son or parent daughter relationship kind of stuff. uh, how you can apply. So they have two kind of portals, a regular IRCC portal there, and there's a new version. So you can go for anyone. I already had account on this one, so I clicked on that one. So now we are going to apply the application. So you have to sign in first, if you have the account already. If you don't have the account, then you have to register for the account. So let's assume you don't have the account and you have to register for it. And let me make it clear, this is not the account, this is not the IRCC account where we used to do our study permits and work permits or even PR. That IRCC account is different, this IRCC account is different. They both are not same, right? So if you're not registered, then you have to register it. But I'm pretty sure you people who are citizens, they would have this account, because your citizenship document, that I forgot, the citizenship certificate, that comes in this account. So you must have registered at that time. But if you are a permanent resident, I think then you never use this account. So in that case, you would need to sign up for it. It's very easy. You just create your IRCC portal. You see the invite code. If I'm not wrong, invite code you don't have to do by mail. It's easy. Get invite code. I think it's by email. Yes. See, you put your email here, and then they'll send you the code, right? I believe they send you right away. And once you have the code, then you create your ICC portal, you put that code, whatever the code is, you add your email, your password, blah blah blah, everything, your phone number, and you sign up, and then your account is ready. Your account is ready to operate. And then the next thing is just sign into that portal. So I have already opened my account here, continue session. So I'm not going to sign in again because it's already open. So I'll just show you, or I might have to. Okay, I'll just open it again. I'll blur a lot of stuff in the real application or in the real video because of the privacy, but I'll show you all the important and major elements. So now we are logged into my personal account. You can see my name here. So this is my own account from where I applied my mother's super visa, and this is how it looks like. I'm going to blur some of the items which I am not comfortable sharing, which I think some of the stuff which is confidential. I have to blur that one, but the important stuff I'll be showing you everything, or I'll vocally tell you. So here you can see again, the application which I submitted 3 4 months ago. And if now we are going to do another application, I'll make a dummy application. I won't be submitting that for sure, but I'll show you the whole process and all the information we need that. Okay, I'll try to make it quick because otherwise this will going to be a very big video. So This is one of the application I was working on before, so I'll just delete this application. So let's assume this is your own account and you have to go come here, apply for a visitor visa or transit visa. It's a visitor visa again, it's a type of visitor visa, the super visa is, right? So you'll see this kind of information, you'll just click on this and start your application. So once you have started the application, you can always save it in the middle, or you have to go back and forth a lot. So you can save it and go back to the information, bring it and fill the rest of the form. But you'll have only 60 days, which are basically 2 months, to fill the application. But I would suggest you to keep all the information and documents ready, and just do it as soon as possible. Why would you wait for 60 days? All right, so do you want to apply for more than one person at the same time? So I'm going to do this dummy application just the way I did for my mother, right? But if you have both the parents alive, if you're going to do for both parents, you can select the options accordingly. For now, I'll just do the way I did my own application, right? But I'm very sure, and it's very easy. It'll be similar for both parents, right? So you just need to do one by one for both, but in the under the same application. So let's do for you know according to how I did mine. So over here, do you want to apply for more than one person at the same time? Because it was for my mother only, so I didn't know. But if you're doing for both parents, you will do yes. Save and continue. I want to apply for visitor visa or super visa. Why do you need a visa? Here you will say there's an option which says more than 6 months. Yes, this one. To visit my children or grandchildren for more than 6 months, super visa basically. Tell us more about what you will be, what you will do in Canada. Include dates. So take these kind of questions seriously. Try to put as much information possible, but here's a limit as well. Like you cannot put an essay over here. There's an upper limit of 475 words. So I'll show you what I did in my mother's application. You can just play around with the words and do the same, right? So this is how I answered this question. Rita, which is the name of my mother, she'll be arriving to Canada for the first time to meet her children and relatives. So this is how I answered it. I kind of gave them an estimate with the months, with the dates, and I kind of told them how many months she'll be living here. I think it was about 7 to 8 months, because I don't want to do it for less than 6 months. Otherwise, they will say again, why don't you apply for a visitor visa then, right? So keep it more than 6 months. I would say for a safer side, do it 8 to 10 months, like the planning. So this is how I did, and you can just copy paste or play around with the words and kind of do the same thing. So I'll just put anything for now. And when will you enter Canada? So this is again an estimate date. You don't have to, because you haven't booked a ticket yet, so it's not like a fixed date. So for now, I'll just do 2025. Let's assume we are inviting the parent or parents somewhere on this date, and then because it's August, so I'll do 26th, and then if I add 8 to 9 months in August, let's say May, and like this is just an estimate. They won't say anything if the date changes. Of course, the date will change once you will book the ticket, or most likely, in a lot of cases, you'll just trying to apply for the visa. You're not actually inviting your parents. So, so UCI, if you have it, then you have to fill this one. If not, then it's optional. Because I had this for my mother, that's why I filled it, because she already had a visitor visa application before. But if you're doing for your parents or for your parent for the first time, then they wouldn't have it. So you can just leave this. For now, I'll just leave this blank. Save and continue. So you selected for a visitor, for a super visa, blah blah blah. Uh, all the extra information. Continue to the application. Are you applying on behalf of someone else? Yes. So basically, it's my account and I'm applying on behalf of my mother. What are you in relation for the person? Family member? Information, right? So your own information. I'll just put my own name. You add your number, whatever is your number. I'll just do a random number. Your address in Canada. Again, I will just put one of the past address I used to live. Okay. Your email address. So over here you have two options. Either you can add your applicant's email or your email. I would suggest you to put your email so all the information comes on your account. And there's another field later on where you can add actually applicant's email as well. So over here, try to put your own email. Okay, so travel document of the applicant. So this is basically the information on the passport. So whatever the information you have on the passport, uh, don't add anything else. It should match, otherwise they can question your application. Date of birth. So I'll do most of this application just random stuff because I'm just trying to tell you how you have to fill it, but you just have to fill how the information you have on the passport. Date of birth, again random. I'm doing for my mother, so female. So again, if you're doing for both parents, you have to do this one by one for both. What documents are you traveling with passport? What kind of passport? Regular. Like 99% of cases it will be this, but if it's one of these, then you have to do accordingly. Select the country code, India, because my mother is Indian. Nationality, Indian. Document number, usually we have number on the passport, and again, whatever number you have over there. Confirm your travel document again. Date of issue, let's say 1 February 2020, this random date, 1 February 2030, usually it's 10 years, again random dates. No. So have you held a Canadian visitor visa in the past 10 years? My mother has it, but if your parents they don't, then you can just do no. In my case, I'll do yes. Do you currently hold a valid US non-immigrant visa? My mother doesn't. Are you traveling by air? Of course we do. Yes. Citizenship and places where the applicant has lived. So just my information over there. I'm not from Chandigarh. I'm just putting in anything. Are you citizenship? Are you citizen of more than one country or territory? No. Which country are citizen of? India. I'm a citizen since birth. Okay, so they have taken your date of birth automatically. Save and continue. Again, for any reason, if you have to leave this application, you can just sign out, and then when you come back, it will start from here. Do you have a valid national identity document? So we'll just do yes and put the same information of your passport, document number, whatever the information we did in the passport. So just take. Some people say we can add Aadhaar card here, but I don't know. In almost all of my, some people even say you can just do no here, but in all of my applications, I have chosen passport and it worked well. So you can just do the same. Select the country that issued, India. Save and continue. Have you used any other name in the past? No. Countries of residence. Select a country, India. So if your parent they have lived in more than one countries, you have to put all the information here. My mother, she has never traveled out of India, or she has never lived out of India, so for her it's very easy and simple. But some of our fathers, they work outside or they live outside for some time, so in those cases you have to put in all the information accordingly. Here I'll just do random again. Postal code, of course you will have it, so you just put accordingly. I'm not adding it here. Is your mailing address is the same? Yes. I'm just trying to make sure it is for the applicant's information, not for the representatives. Yes. So we are filling in applicant's information. List your current country or territory of residence, then I'll add all other countries or territories where you lived for past 5 years for more than 6 months. It is very simple for my mother. She has lived her whole life in India, so I'll just do easy peasy. But for your parents, if it differs, you can add accordingly. I actually forgot what information I used for her date of birth. I forgot. It's okay. I'll just put this date. Okay, biometric. This is another interesting question. In the last 10 years, have you proved? So they're basically asking if you have done your biometrics ever before. For my mother, they were done before because she had applied for visitor visa application. But if you're, for your parents, if it's not, then you can just do no here. right? And then they'll just send you send you a request to do the biometrics and then charge you additional $85 for that. But in my mother's case, it was yes, we provided it, and now they ask me, do you want to provide it again? And you don't want to provide. Why would I provide it again, right? Why would I pay $25 extra? So I say I wish to use reuse my. I basically want to reuse my valid biometrics. Save and continue. Who's inviting you? So this is basically my information. Relationship, family member, Canada, my own information here, your phone number. I'm just doing random numbers. My email. Has someone else also invited you? No. Like just in case if you have a sibling here, you can add their information. I also have a sibling here, but I didn't add any information from her side, so you can even skip that. Finance, another important question. How much money do you have for your stay in Canada? All right. So Uh, I would suggest you to add at least $3,000-4,000 just for the safe side. Like there's no official, you know, requirement written anywhere that this is the least amount of dollars you have to bring in, or the person who is inviting you should have this amount of money at least. But for the safer side, as much as possible, and as many as you can prove as well, right? So let's do 5,000, which is basically around 300 rupees. Sorry, 3 lakh rupees. Is someone else giving you money for your stay in Canada? This would be yes. I mean, this is how I did. Please provide details. So I'll show you then what I wrote in my mother's application. So this is her application. See, I did 6,000. Yes, inviting, and my son will take care of my, financial needs during my stay in Canada. I'll be living. So this is basically my mother is telling CIC, sorry, Canadian immigration. I will be living in his house or my house, so I won't be paying any rent. He will also pay for my food, grocery shopping. My son will take me to the all tourist attractions, pay for it. I'm still bringing $6,000 for any urgent need, right? So here basically we are telling that I will take care of my mother's expenses, but still she's bringing $5,000 or 3,000, 4,000, whatever, just in the case, right? So here you can write accordingly the way I showed you. Save and continue. Okay, it's a long application, but very basic stuff, but it'll take a long time. Have you ever studied at a post-secondary school? You don't need to have completed a degree. Accordingly, yes, no, whatever. Then you have to, add the details. Let's say name of the school, anything from, you know, I mean, if you're adding this information, it should be correct for sure. I mean, of course, they won't ask you to give the proofs, but why would you give them wrong information? Just in case, you never know. Worst case scenario, they can ask you. So I'm just adding random stuff. Business, sin, country, India, sorry, address, anything. Joshua Street, anything. I'm just adding in digger. But you should add what is the real information, right? So this will be added here, and if it's more than one, I think you can add multiple. Yes, you can keep on adding, and then that will show over here. Okay, military or police history. Did you serve in any military? It depends on your parents. In my case, it was no. Work or activities. If your parents, give all the employment details in the last 10 years. So accordingly, you have to put in all the information. Let's see. So the last 10 years. So it is 2025. So anything since 2015. So let's say, your parent or someone is doing health occupation or like, anything. Let's say it's a nurse, nursing officer, employer, civil hospital. I'm just throwing the name. Main duties, you can just Google it or ask ChatGPT. Sorry, you can ask AI model anything. ChatGPT, whatever they do, you know, according to what they work. If they are in bank or whatever their daily stuff is, you can just Google it and you can throw any random stuff. No one is going to ask for their job letter. So I'll just do address again. Street address, Andrew Street, Chandigarh. Okay. If they have multiple, then you have to add multiple stuff here. Okay, I think I have done something wrong. You're missing details for the past 10 years. Okay. Alright, so because I did 2018 here, so they're basically asking me what she was doing before 2018, right? So what I'll do just to go through this application, I'll do 2015. So it looks like now they're not asking me. So again, we have to do for the past 10 years. During the past 5 years, have you traveled to a country or territory other than the one you're a citizen of? If they have, then yes, and they'll ask you to add the information. In my case, it was no, so I'll do save and continue. Have you ever stayed in Canada beyond the validity? No, I hope it's the same for you. Have you ever been refused a visa, denied entry? So in my case, it was no, but I helped one of my friends to do their super visa application, and her father, he had a refusal from one of the countries in Europe. So I strongly, advise her to add all that information she has. So in her case, she did yes, and then she just added the information, what happened, why, and possibly application number as well. We need to be as transparent as possible. I would say like not as much as possible, like 100% transparent. Otherwise, they can even ban you for 5 years for misrepresentation. So in this my case, it was no. Easy peasy. Criminality and security. Criminal, criminal, criminality, criminality. Okay. No. Have you ever been arrested? No. Have you ever been charged for any criminal offense? No. Have you ever been convicted for any criminal offense? No. Crimini- criminality, 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 criminality and security questions. Are you or have you ever been a member of associated party? No. Have you ever witnessed or participated in ill treatment? No. Medical background, have you had a medical exam? Okay, another important question. So as I told you in the start of the application, I strongly advise you to do the medical exam beforehand, before you submit this application, because medical exam is a must. You do it, I mean, you say yes or no, you can do anything over here, but they are going to come for it. They are going to ask you to do your medical anyway, right? So why would you waste your time? Why would you wait for them to come and ask you, okay, give us the medical exam, and then you do it, and then you submit your application, and then they review it again? Why would we waste that much time, right? We can just do the whole application one shot. So the moment they start reviewing your application, they can just make a decision. So we just do yes here, and then you just have to add that IME number which is on the top of the medical exam. So just do it upfront, easy, and then we'll attach it in the optional documents. Medical background questions: in the last 2 years, were you diagnosed with TB? No, it's a serious thing in these countries. In the last 5 years, have you been in close contact with a person of tuberculosis? No. Medical background: are you currently receiving dialysis? No. Have you ever had a alcohol addiction? No. Mental health condition? No. Been diagnosed with syphilis? No. Again, I mean, I hope it's all no for you, but if the answer is different, then you have to do accordingly, and then they'll ask for further, maybe they'll ask for more details. Marital status: if you're doing for both parents, then of course they're married, right? And then they'll ask for the partner's information. In my mother's case, because my father is not alive, so it was widow. Date of marriage start when they got married, right? So just throwing in another date here. Surname: details of your previous relationship. So basically, they're asking about my father. All right. So you have to put in his or her information, date of birth. You don't have to add any document about the partner, but I think when you add the passport, they can see over there. Country, India. When did the relationship end? Basically, in my case, when my father died, right? So again, throwing the date here, so you can do accordingly. Children, do you have any biological children? Yes, she does. And accordingly, how many children she has or he has, you can just add the details. This child is deceased, relationship, son, country of birth, India. Does this child have the same address as you? No, in my case. Could be different if you have a sibling in India. Could be, could be yes. And then they won't ask you to put in the address, they'll do automatically. But in my case, I have to. Okay. If this child is not in Canada, will they accompany you to Canada? In my case, it was no because I'm already here. Okay, so accordingly, how many children there you have to add according, in this application. I'll just do my name here. Okay, if you were tell us about your parents. If you were adopted, provide the details of your legal parents. I strongly like there is an option that I don't know my parents, and then you can just go through. But I'll strongly recommend you to add the information of your basically grandparents, uh, as much as information you have. I know a lot of our grandparents they don't have paperwork, they're not alive, and we don't have their paperwork. But whatever information is available, whatever information you can get, try to, you know, go as close as possible. Father, date of birth. Again, I'll just throw random dates. This parent is deceased. Date of death. I'll just do 2015. Country India. Similarly, I will do mother. Relationship mother. Date of birth. 72. Parent is deceased. Date of death. 22. Country India. If they're alive, then of course you'll do this, and their occupation and whatever. Actually, in my mother's case, sorry, my grandmother is alive actually, so let me do according to that. My bad. Present occupation, housewife. Occupation. Does this parents have the same address as you? No, and then you have to add their address just for this person purpose. I'll just do yes. I'm too lazy to add my grandmother's address now. Will this parent come with you to Canada now? Yes. Okay. Alright, now let's go. Long application. What is your native language? Punjabi? Punjabi? Most of my videos are in Punjabi, but I just thought, let me make this, let me try this in English. Maybe I'll be able to cater more audience. Can you communicate in English or French? I did English. You can do neither. It's on you. I just did English. My mother, she's not fluent in English. She can understand. I don't think she can even speak that well, but that's okay. What language do you want us to contact you with? English. Email address of the applicant. So here you can add your email as well. Doesn't really make a difference. My mother, she has her own email, so I entered her email. If their parents they have their email and then they check that out, you can enter their email. Worst case scenario, if they don't have it, you can actually make an email for them and then you can keep it with you just to see any updates. And if you're too lazy to do all of that, then you can just add your email. Telephone number of the applicant, cellular, other. I think it is 91. Again, random number. Okay. Save and continue. Summary of information. Okay. So basically, all the information has been added, and this is a summary. You can expand them all. You can see everything, whatever we have, submitted or written so far. Everything is here. You can review it again and again just to make sure we're not doing any mistake. And if you want to, edit anything, you can just go over there and edit it and then come back. So I am assuming that all the information is correct here, so I'll just do save and continue, and it'll take me to the documents page. There you go. So these are the documents: letter of invitation, they tell you what you should have; proof of income, which are basically proof of income of children or grandchildren from, so basically my proof of income, which can include notice of assessment, T4s, job letter, pay stubs, any of these. NOA is the most important one, the number one document you can provide, or you can add them all and give them everything. National identity document of the mother, passport again, funds. So these funds are basically your the savings of the applicant, and also the savings of the person inviting, right? So basically savings of mine and savings of my mother. My savings are really important. I told you initially that 4 months of saving, I had like 20,000 plus dollars I saved. Like again, there's no number. My friends, they have done with 10,000 as well. My friends, they have done for both parents with 14,000 as well. The application was a success, but as many as possible, and it should be 4 months old. So you can add those 4 months saving account, details here, and if any funds proof you have from your mother or father or parents side, you can do that as well. My mother sent me her savings accounts, her uh, fixed deposits and whatever she had, so I added them as well. So there's no wrong or right here. As much as information possible, we'll just do that, right? Use of rep. So this is another form I'll show you later. This is just a form that I'm doing on behalf of my mother. I'll just have to put some details over there and then submit that form. Relationship proof. So that relationship, you can, if you are not a Canadian citizen, you can do you still hold an Indian passport, you can put your passport there, and then they'll see mother father details, their name over there, or any kind of document which shows your parents name. And because I have the OCI, I did that one, and I think I also did one of my degrees where my parents name was there. So you can do that, you can do the same. Medical insurance, very important. $100,000 of insurance. So this document you get right away when you do the insurance. They'll send you a document, I'll show you later how it looks like. So that one. And in these ones, I only did additional document where I did not my medical, my mother's medical. I attached that one over here. So because there's no special option, there's no special name which says medical. It only says medical insurance, but not the medical of the applicant. So that goes in the additional document. And once you submit them all, you just do save and continue, and then you pay the fee, and that's it, right? So that's all. That was pretty much it for the whole application. And I'll also show you all the documents now, how I did mine, and we'll go through that. Okay, so as we have filled up our application form, now we are going to submit all the documents and then we are good. So let's talk about the documents one by one. And I'll tell you all the documents I submitted, right? I won't tell you anything in the air. I'll just tell you the realistic stuff I did, and then my application was a success, so you can do the same. Letter of invitation, the details are here, what stuff they are expecting, and you can go through all of it. You have basically, you need to include all this stuff in your letter of invitation. I'll show you my letter of invitation, and then you can get an idea how to do it, and then you can play around with the words, and then you can just go with the similar kind of format. So this is how my invitation letter looked like, and of course I have to blur some of the stuff which I don't want to share, but I'll just read this letter for you. So January 6th, when I submitted my application, all everything subject is mother supervisor application. Dear officer, this the letter. I just added my mother's information, why I'm applying. I added my information. I'm a Canadian citizen. I'm living here for this many years. I own a house. This and that. Okay, reason and duration of the visit. um, she wants to live here for 10 months, right? From this date to this these are all estimated dates, right? Because the application is not it has not approved yet, so there's no ticket yet, so these are all estimates, and then they understand this too, right? 10 months, and I'm just telling them what she'll be doing here. Me and my sister will be taking her out to these many places, this and that. And my mother, she always wanted to come here, she has never been here, this and that. And I'm here for these many years. My sister is here too, my niece is here too, my mother wants to see her. A lot of strong relationship, some of the emotional stuff as well, just to prove the officer that yes, she wants to come here. Inviters detail and financial support and place of stay. Inviters details basically my details, financial support of how I'll be supporting my mother, and then where she'll be staying. See, so this is my details. This is my passport number. I have blurred it. I'm employed, in this company, and my this is my salary, and my mother will be staying here. Um, I'm covering the required LECO requirement. I'm eligible for that. So, and I also have a good bank balance of 20,000, as I told you. Please refer to the bank statements, which we are adding as well. And my mother will also want to stay in my house, my sister's place. She won't be paying anything. We'll be taking care of her expenses. We are also having medical insurance for her. Commitment to return to India. This part is a very important part because you have to prove the officer that she's not coming here for permanent reasons, right? She won't be applying for permanent residency. We have to prove it to them that they will go back, right? So here I told them, she's working woman. She has to go back and continue work there. She has relatives there, friends there, so she'll be going back for sure. And this is how I concluded my information here. Here I added my address, my phone number, this and that. So you can just do. You can read through and then can get an idea, and then again you can take help of Google, Chat GPT, or any other software, and or you can just play with these words and do the same. So your invitation letter is done, which is the most important one. Proof of income, as I told you, uh, I did my notice of assessment along with my pay stub, my recent pay stubs, and my T4s, I believe. If you have your job letter, you can add that too, you know. But as many as possible is better. So they also have written what they want. They said, one of these, but if you have multiple, you can just add them all and attach it. National identity document, passport, EC, passport, EC, passport of the applicant, not my passport or your passport. Funds. So in my application, I did 4 months of my bank statement, so my saving account where I'm telling them, I have balance 20,000, 15,000, whatever. Along with that, my mother sent me the the summary of her savings and everything, so I included that. If you don't have it, that's fine, because we are telling them that we are taking care of our parents. So we are the main applicants here. Not applicant, but we are the people are who are taking care of them. So they are not, my parents are not questionable here. They are checking the government is checking our information. So if you have your parents information as well, if they have funds, it's advisable to add them. I would suggest strongly, but just in case if they don't, but at least you put your own funds here. So bank statements and whatever information you have from back home. Use of rep. Let me show you the form, how it looks like. This is the one. Yes. So this document, the name of this document, I think you can download from here as well. Use of rep. A completed IMM 5476 form. So you can just Google it. IMM 5476 use of rep. Yeah, download. You can download this form. And this is how it looks like. That's the name of the form, and then that's how I have to fill in here. I am appointing a representative, appointing a representative. So this is basically my mother is telling the government that she's appointing me to represent her application. Like that's the basically purpose of this form. If she, because if you remember, we said that in the application earlier that I'm representing her. If she or I would have said that no, she's doing, applicant is doing by her or himself, then you wouldn't need to add this form. But because we said that they are appointing a representative, it could be someone like our regular representatives or someone from family like me. So that's the form is about applicant information, my mother's information here, date of birth, that's it. And representatives information, so basically my information, because I'm representing her. So my information here, I'm friend or family, and here I can add my address and my phone number, and that's pretty much it, and email address too. And here I can do my signature of the rep, the date, and then you can scan the document to your parents back home. They can do their signature here, date, and then they can scan it back to you, and that's it. That's all. So the next document is relationship proof, as I told earlier. Could be your passport. In my case, it was OCI card. So anything which shows that you are in a mother son or like parent children relationship, whatever it proves. So you can do that in that stuff. Marriage certificate. So these are some of the options. Birth certificate. Yeah, this is one of the major examples. But if you have passport, that's easy. Medical insurance. So I won't be able to show you the insurance fully, but I'll just give you a glance how it looks like. So this confirmation of insurance. I mean, there's nothing to hide here. It's just my mother's information. If there are 4 pages, the rest of the pages are her information, policy number, blah blah blah. So this is basically the confirmation of the insurance. You get this paper right away, like right after a minute when you apply for this, when you take the when you take the insurance. So there are different companies you can just go through if you have friends. I have a friend. She did that for me. She offered me 2 plans. Either I can pay annually, because the rule now is you have to do annual plan. Before it used to be you can do monthly. You can still do monthly. There's a way. So she offered me annually and monthly. The only difference was if I would be paying annually, I have to pay for the whole year, and like whatever amount of months my mother will be living, let's say 10 months, and the other, when she will go back, the other 2 months, the payment which I have paid already, they will give it back to me. And in a month to month, you only pay for 2 months plus some application fee, which is $100 or $150. And then the rest you just do month to month, depending on how many days or how many months they stay here. So in annually you pay them the whole amount, but you save that application fee of $120 to $150. In month to month you pay them monthly, easier, and but you have to give them the application fee, which is non-refundable. So whatever works for you. Some people do annually. I did monthly. It was easier for me. So confirmation of insurance over there. So this is done. Medical insurance. So these are all the important documents are done, and then the medical, which I strongly advise you to do beforehand, you can do in additional document. You can just add the file here, and you can do the medical, and that's it. After that, you can just do save and continue. They'll do some declaration. They'll ask you to pay $100 if you're not giving biometrics. If you are giving biometrics, $185, and that's pretty much all. Couple of confirm clicks, and then that's it. Your application will be submitted, and then you just stay back and wait for it. I was lucky enough, my application was quite fast, came within 3 weeks, but it takes like 4, 5, 6 weeks for some people. I would say like average 4 to 8 weeks. So again, one of the easiest applications, and I'll strongly recommend you to try it by yourself. No need to pay anyone outside, any agent, any representative. Like average, they charge $300 $400 per application. For both parents, they charge like $500 or something. Save that money. Very easy application. Do by yourself, and I hope to see you in another video. Thank you.